Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend going back and listening to the previous episode because it is all about my top meal prep success secrets to set you up for all of the healthy eating and weight loss wins this year. So definitely recommend going back and listening to that episode. Now, if you are in Australia, it is back to school very, very soon. So I have carefully timed this episode because it is all about back to school healthy eating tips that you can use as a busy woman and mum. Now, if you're anything like me, what I'm going to share with you today is going to apply for you when you and your kids do go back to school. So there's going to be lots of practical and useful tips that you can apply anyway. So if you aren't in Australia, definitely recommend still listening to this episode. So school goes back soon, and it has been a long 6, 7, sometimes 8 weeks for our kids that they haven't gone back to school. And as women and mums, we haven't been trying to juggle our healthy eating and our exercise and wellness around school. So I just want to let you know that if you are starting to feel a little bit anxious, a little bit uncomfortable about juggling all the things when the kids go back to school, I just want to let you know that you are not alone. I can definitely relate to this feeling myself. And I think that it's because as women, we know what's coming. We know as soon as school starts that it's like a smack in the face of all of the things that we now have to add onto our plate, as well as all the other things that we're already doing already. So if you are feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious, a little bit worried about the kids going back to school and having to just juggle all of the things that are related to being a school mum, please know that you are not alone. And that's why I wanted to record this episode in order to make you feel a little bit comfortable and also to support you. Because one of the biggest complaints that I hear from the women that I work with and through the women in the membership is often the advice that is given out to women in the healthy eating, exercise, gym, wellness, weight loss space that is given to mothers. I'm talking about advice for mothers, is given to mothers by young women that do not have children. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, you don't have some amazing advice and things like that if you don't have children and you're in this space and you are supporting other women. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. I am just saying that until you have children yourself, it is very hard to relate to the juggle of taking care of yourself and your exercise and eating well and all those kind of things, as well as all of the juggle and doing all of the kids and doing all the school things as well. I'll tell you a little story. I remember because I was actually the first person out of my circle of girlfriends to get pregnant and to have a baby. And that was purely just because I had been with my husband, I'd met him younger. And so we were sort of at that stage sooner than what other people were. So I was the first in my circle of girlfriends to have a baby. And I specifically remember after I had a baby and then I think it was a year or two later, and one of the girls in the group, she was the next one to have a baby. And I remember that she specifically said to me, and we were catching up for coffee one day and I had my daughter with me and we were just chatting about things and stuff. And she only just recently had a baby, and she leaned over to me at the coffee shop and she said, "Jen, I'm really sorry." And I was like, what? Like, what are you apologizing to me for? And she said, Jen, I'm really sorry. I just didn't get it. I really just didn't get it. And I know that so many of you listening to this can relate to that as well. And I was exactly the same. I'm like, oh, but when you have kids, you can still exercise and you can still go to the gym and you can still do that and all those kind of things. It changes so much when you have children because you don't have the flexibility to do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. And you have to work around a small child or a grown-up child or any child. So everything changes when you have children. So it was really nice that she reached out, apologized and said, I'm just so sorry. I didn't understand it. I did get it. If I'd say, I can't come for a walk or I can't meet you for lunch or I can't do this. At that time, she just didn't understand. Whereas once she got pregnant and had a child herself, she just completely understood that so real mum juggle that we experience all of the time. So any advice and tips that I'm going to give you today is from personal experience. It's from me trying to juggle my healthy eating, my wellness, my exercise with a family, with kids, with back to school and all of those things. So I hope that you find today's episode really, really helpful. And like I said, just so that you know that if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by back to school, that you are so not alone and that there are thousands of women and all of the women that are listening to this podcast that are right there with you and feel exactly the same. Okay, so the year has already started. So you've probably already just gone back to work. So you're sort of starting to manage back to work and, back to routine post holidays. And you're about to add in back to school on your workload and on your plate of things to juggle every week. So it is going to increase. You are going to have more to juggle. It is going to be more, but there are some really simple things that you can do to ensure that you don't just drop the ball when it comes to taking care of yourself too, because I know as women and especially as mothers, we put our kids first. And so it's back to work and then it's back to school and then it's, oh, well, I can't work out anymore and I can't eat healthy. So I really want this episode to help you so that you don't just quit on yourself and drop everything because the kids are now back to school and now you have more things on your plate to manage. So there are some really simple ways that you can make time for yourself and that you can make it easier to make yourself and also your wellness a priority. So my first tip is that I really want you to change the way that you look at your day. This has been a game changer for me. As women, our brains are on 24/7. We are always juggling all of the things, managing all of those invisible tasks that we just do. Who needs a gift for a birthday party and who needs a new pair of socks and who's got a dental appointment, all of those things that we juggle as women and as mothers every single week. So I really want you to start thinking about this. I want you to think of your day as it's starting the night before. Okay, so instead of waking up and going, oh, it's back to school and I've got to do lunches and I've got to do this, I want you to start getting into the habit of thinking about your next day, either the day before or the night before. This sounds so simple, but it is really, really powerful and it can really help you starting your day and heading into a new day feeling organized and on top of your to-do list. So start thinking about the way that you look at your day. It doesn't start when you get up in the morning, it starts the night before, and start thinking then about what you need for the next day. So what I mean by that, it's a no-brainer. Make your kids' lunches and your lunch the night before. Just do it. Again, get into the habit of just doing it. It's one of those things that in that moment of an evening and you're going, oh, I really don't want to make lunches and I'm too tired, I just want to go to bed. Spend the 10 minutes and do it. Just do it. If you get into the habit of, night times or afternoons or whatever, is when you make the kids' lunches for school, it will just become easier. And what that's doing is it's taking one thing off your plate in the morning. It's making it easier for you. So get into the habit of making your kids' lunches the night before so it's not one thing that you're scrambling to do in the morning. The next one, make a plan for your week of family dinners. This helps so much with back to school. I talk about it a lot on the podcast. Planning out your family dinners will reduce your mental load. It will reduce your decision fatigue and it will make healthy eating feel easier for you. So if you don't have a fancy meal planner, just get a piece of paper, a whiteboard, whatever you have access to, and just scribble it down. Monday to Friday, this is what we're having. And I know that quite a few women in the membership will do this, is what they'll do is that. So let's say on Tuesday, we're having a pasta bake. And what they'll actually do is they'll print off the pasta bake recipe and they pop it on the fridge that day. So the husband, the partner, the kids know that that's what's for dinner. That's what we're having. It reduces the decision fatigue. There's no complaints as well too. The kids aren't, I don't want to eat that for dinner, because it's just that routine. It's that habit. It's like, well, that's what we're having. And so everyone's on the same page. There's no arguments. There's no, oh, well, can you make me this instead, Mum? So definitely make sure that you are finding a system to plan out your dinners for the week. Like I said, pop it on the fridge so you know what you're having. Shop for these ingredients. Also too, if you head to my Instagram, in my bio, you can download my 5 days of healthy dinners. I have put together a super quick ebook. All of these 5 recipes are like less than 10 minutes to make. They will save you on those busy nights. So definitely recommend heading to my Instagram, The Active Bod, and downloading your 5 days of healthy dinners. They're all easy, delicious, family friendly. And like I said, you can whip them up in minutes. So definitely go and do that, because that is a great place for you to start. And it will just help you ease back into that planning of dinners. A lot of us have had Christmas and New Year, and we've had holidays and days off and all of those kind of things. We're not in that regular planning of dinners routine. And so the free ebook will definitely help you, give you some new easy meal ideas. Okay, the next one. Plan and write in your calendar when you will do your workout and your exercise. There is so much power in writing stuff down. I cannot stress this enough. Write it down. Again, it's taking it out of your head of this, oh, I think I should go to the gym, or I think I should go to Pilates, or I might go for a walk. Put it on your calendar. Put it somewhere where you have to see it every day. Schedule in those workouts. Schedule in your exercise. Schedule those things in. Because why? Because it will make it happen. So you're back to school, it's work, school lunches, it's all these things that you're juggling. If you don't put those things on your calendar and make them like little meetings that you have with yourself, they will not happen. You'll get busy, stuff will come up with the kids' school, whatever it is, and those things just won't happen. So make sure that you write them on your calendar, on your diary, whatever system works for you. I personally, I'm still a bit old school. Like I still like all of my planners and things like that. They're all like paper copy. I still personally prefer, I haven't quite mastered the art of having like a big digital calendar and all of those kind of things. I still prefer a paper copy. So if you're someone that prefers digital, go for that. If you're someone that prefers a whiteboard or a paper copy, definitely use that. So it's about finding a system that works for you. Are you ready to step into a vibrant community of health-conscious women where your journey to helping feel easy begins? Welcome to the Healthy Eating Hype Gal community, your ultimate destination for mastering your relationship with food and embracing a healthy lifestyle. As a busy working mum who's lost 10 kilos, I've been through it all and I understand the struggle. That's why I'm here to teach you the exact steps and tools I use to lose weight, conquer my mindset and thrive, all while juggling the demands of everyday life. Say goodbye to no more confusing fad diets or overwhelming nutrition advice. In this community, I'll guide you through the maze of weight loss and healthy eating and explain it to you in a way that finally makes sense. From easy, family-friendly meal plans to my exclusive calorie deficit quick guide, monthly masterclasses, plus so much more, so you can finally make healthy eating an achievable lifestyle without restriction. It's time to ditch the confusion and overwhelm for good. Join today and kickstart your journey to a healthier, happier you. There's no perfect time to start. Let's make your wellness dreams a reality. Okay, the next one is lunches. You're obviously most likely back at work. Now, I want to stress too, if you are a stay-at-home mum, meal prep and organising what you're going to have for lunch is freaking amazing for you too. The amount of times that I went, well, I'm just a stay-at-home mum now. I'm looking after my child. I don't need to meal prep because I'm not going to work. Yes, you do, because your child, your baby will feed when you don't want to feed, or they'll sleep on you when you're planning on doing something else, or you want to eat your lunch. Still get into the habit of organising what you are going to eat for lunch the day before, even if you are working at home or you're a stay-at-home mum, because it will still help you eat healthy consistently, okay? So don't get into that habit of, oh, well, I have to be going to work in order to plan my meals and like have my lunches and things like that. No, you are just as busy as a woman that is out in the workforce. So make sure that you plan out your lunches. And like I said, everything that you do, you need to think about the day before. That is the little secret tip to your success. All right, my next tip. Keep a stash of freezer meals in your freezer that are ready to go. So this is going to save you for back to school, because if you are not a mum, back to school comes with lots of commitments. School, when your kids are school aged, comes with lots of commitments. So there might be swimming lessons, there might be excursions, there's birthday parties, there's projects, there's always extra things that your kids need to do as part of their school learning experience. So if you are working as well, you're juggling all of these things, freeze some meals. Like simple things like making a spaghetti mince is a really great standby one that I use all the time, because a spaghetti mince and making it up like a tomato-based sauce, some veggies, throwing it in the freezer. A spaghetti mince is a really versatile freezer meal because you can add it to nachos, to tacos, to spaghettis, to pasta bakes, like nourish bowls. There's so many things that you can make from just making like a tomato-based spaghetti sauce. So that is a really great one to have in the freezer. Another one is some marinated chicken. Again, a great staple that you can add to so many different meals that will just make your back to school process and getting back into that routine easier, because it's going to be hard initially because you've had time off, you've had Christmas, you've had breaks, you haven't had the pressure of back to school on your plate with everything else. So freezer meals are a great way, and they give you lots of variety of different things that you can make from them. Okay, next one, buy convenient sides for your pantry and freezer. So staples for me are things like microwave rice, frozen vegetables, things like that you can add to a meal that are going to save you time, because you're not having to get out and boil all your rice or, cook and chop all your vegetables. Things like that can really save you time with back to school, making healthy dinners, all of those kind of things. So definitely recommend making sure that you have a stash in your pantry and your fridge of those real convenience, like, time-saving things. You can also buy, I don't know if they have it like in other parts of the world, but you can actually buy microwave pasta here in like little pouches. Those things are fantastic to add to a meal prep, like if you're trying to do a quick meal prep. So go to the supermarket, go to your grocery store, have a look around and stock up on those convenience things that are going to help save you some time. Things like pre-marinated meats are another one, like lean proteins, all of those kind of things. Anything that you can use to make your meal prep or to make your weeknight dinner planning that much easier. I really want to stress too with the whole to school thing, it's that, like I said, as women, we prioritize everyone else first before ourselves. And something that I learned on my own journey is that when I look after myself, everyone else around me benefits, okay? Because they get the best version of me. They get the healthiest version of me. They get the happiest version of me. So it is really, really important, and this is a reminder because it is going to get crazy with back to school, that it's not everyone else first, it's me too. And I want that to be your motto as you head into back to school. It's not all of you and you get everything, it's me too. And me too means me too, I'm going to go for a walk and you can wait. It means me too, I'm going to make myself a healthy lunch. It's me too, I'm going to fill up my water bottle. It's me too, I'm going to eat healthy. It's me too, I'm going to get to the gym. Okay, so it doesn't have to be that, and this doesn't change the way that you mother or how much you love your children or anything like that. It's just about you shifting your mindset to, you can be an amazing mother and give your kids all of the things, but you can also make time for yourself too, for your wellness, for your health, for your exercise, because when you show up for you, you show up as your best version for everyone else. And I really want you to keep that in mind because things are going to get hectic and things are going to get crazy. So just to recap, just make sure that you are thinking about your next day the night before. That simple little thing. It's all I want you to do. So if you're listening to this, and let's say you're listening to this in the morning and you think right now, as I'm finishing up this podcast episode, that you go, okay, right, so what's on tomorrow? Okay, so kids are back at school. Okay, so I'll make my lunches tonight. I really want to get to the gym in the morning, or I want to go for a walk when the kids are still asleep. So, okay, I'll put out my workout clothes. Think about what you can do the night before, because that will make back to school so much easier. And like I said, don't forget, it's not they get everything and you have nothing left. It's me too. And I want you to be that motto. And I think it's really important too that as mothers that we give that message to our children that, yes, I love you, and yes, I will move heaven and earth to, do everything I can to support you and take care of you and make sure that you have the most amazing life, but your kids and your family need to know too that it's me too. It's not always just you, it's me too, because I matter as well. So good luck. Wishing you all of my positive vibes and positive thoughts for back to school. Like I said, try some of these tips and tools that I've given you because they will really help to reduce your overwhelm, reduce your stress around healthy eating and wellness with back to school. And like I said, just be kind to yourself. It might take you a couple of weeks to find your groove again with back to school and planning dinners and still getting in your workouts and doing some meal prep, sort of working out how to juggle all of those things again after having a break. But it's doable. So just be kind to yourself, be flexible, try different methods, and just remember that you are so worthy and that you matter too. And it's really important that you take care of your health and your wellness as well. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. Don't forget, if you love the episode, to follow and subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star or some reviews. It means the absolute world to me if you've done this already. Thank you so much. I'm so very grateful. And I will see you all in our next episode of the Healthy Her podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @TheActiveBod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.